Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to start by echoing the words of the chairman and thank Congresswoman Nydia Velázquez for her amazing service. La Luchadora has been a fighter for the people, for small businesses across this country, and a historic tenure in Congress. And we are all going to miss you incredibly. So I just want to start by thanking you, and what will be the first of many times we thank you over the next year or so. I want to get into cybersecurity and go into that a little bit right now. I was in a small business before coming to Congress where this is a real threat. I mean, this is the kind of thing where, people don't want to go through the trainings, but they got to go through the trainings because the emails are coming through. And if you're a small business, you cannot afford these types of attacks that are coming from people who are trying to extort you for money. They're a threat to everybody. But for small businesses who have limited resources, it is really and truly a problem. So you guys have highlighted that problem today, but I also want to say that because we're here in Congress, a lot of the problems you guys are talking about, they are real problems. They're local problems. They're state problems. And they're real. But here in Congress, we got to think, what can we do for everybody across this country from the federal government? And one of the things we have had is a cybersecurity and infrastructure security agency known as CISA. This has been an effective way of dealing with some of these cybersecurity threats and helping out our state and local partners. However, when President Trump came into office, he has gutted the Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency. It's our premier cyber agency. It's enjoyed years of bipartisan support, but Donald Trump decided to tear it down. Now, why did he decide to tear it down? He tore it down because he doesn't like CISA Director Chris Krebs for stating that the 2020 election was secure. That contradicts the president's lies about widespread fraud. But here's the thing, that personal vendetta he's carrying out against CISA has real impacts, because while now the agency in charge of combating cybersecurity is gone, the cybersecurity is more relevant than ever. And people are still, our small businesses, our local governments, other entities are at great risk of exploitation. In Kentucky alone, we've seen ransomware attacks against small businesses, county governments, local police departments, schools, universities, healthcare providers, all happening, real problems. These attacks, they leave us all vulnerable. And we have to take that seriously, even if the president is not right now. So, Ms. Plagmeyer, on the National Cybersecurity Alliance's website, CISA is listed as a government partner. Can you tell us about how the cuts to the agency have been harmful to the efforts to keep small businesses cyber secure?
Our relationship is mainly with external affairs in the public campaigns that we run. So I don't have firsthand knowledge of CISA's work with small businesses. I know that all the resources that they provided in the past are still available. You can use templates to make your own tabletop exercise. There's phishing simulation training available. There's all the information that we work on together with external affairs at CISA to provide public education. But I can't speak specifically to how they may or may not have helped small businesses in the past. I can say that when I talk to small businesses, it's not really the case. It's not really rational to think that the federal government or even federal law enforcement can provide hands-on support when every small business has a security incident, right? It just doesn't scale in that way. So that's why I think public-private partnership and the fact that this is cybersecurity is a bipartisan issue, I think that's really, really important. I mean, we have been partnered with DHS before there was even a CISA for 22 years, and we're really proud of that partnership.
And I think it is important. I think it's important we focus on cybersecurity, particularly in the federal government. There are crucial cybersecurity programs that are essential to this objective, like those that focus on cyber information sharing, but the federal provisions facilitating this lapsed at the end of September, which is why we should reauthorize this, which is why we should have this bipartisan thing. I want to change gears in the time I've got left. Mr. Wickham, you're with the Chamber of Commerce. And looking at the Chamber of Commerce and what you all have said this year, the Chamber of Commerce estimates that the president's tariffs will impose a tax of slightly more than $200 billion on American small businesses this year. The Chamber of Commerce also found that in 2022, which is the year with the highest rate of reported retail crime, retail losses were organized retail crime, a significant driver, amounted to $100 billion. Is $200 billion bigger or smaller than $100 billion?
Congressman, it's definitely big.
It's definitely big, twice as big. And here's the thing, and this is what I want to get at. This is important. It's $100 billion. Cybersecurity is a big deal. We need to focus on crime for small businesses. But in this committee, where there's a $100 billion loss due to crime, there's a $200 billion loss, according to the Chamber of Commerce, right now to small businesses because of the president's tariff policies, and we have yet to have a single hearing on it or to address this and how it impacts small businesses. I think we need to focus on these types of things as well as some of the local issues that we're talking about today. Mr. Chairman, I yield back.